Yo, what's going on, everybody? Welcome back to another video, and today we are going to be talking about a little film I went to go and see, and that is on Taibhse. So this is an Irish language horror film which is set right after the famine in the 1800s, where we follow a father and his daughter after the loss of their mother while they are tasked to work on this house while the owners are away. Now this cast is really short in it, and I did get to actually chat to the cast and crew at a Q&A last night, which is really fun, as you can see here.
Question for Tom. So obviously we've had like the influence from like The Shining and stuff like that, and obviously with Jack Nicholson being such like a leading role in that film, I do think you carried this film really well, and like have so many incredible scenes that really like transform what's on the paper into the screen. So I was wondering if you had any influences for this performance, any actors out there you watched and kind of took little things from.
Thanks, man. I appreciate that. What's your name?
Carl.
Cal. Thanks, man. That sounds cheers, buddy. The answer to that is no. I like John did say, "Oh, here's a few films, maybe," and obviously he mentioned The Shining. I would have seen The Shining probably the late '80s, maybe. Like I'm not a trained actor, right? I've always been a performer, been in bands, and I like even with music, I grew up learning. Like I'm from Clare originally, so I grew up with like tin whistle and trad music and stuff like that.
But I really did enjoy this film, I have to say, as someone who is Irish and as someone who isn't great at actually speaking the native language of Irish. Watching this film, I was kind of like, it would actually really inspire me to go and speak more Irish, I won't lie. And I gotta say, the direction and everything filmmaking wise was absolutely incredible. So I did have some really interesting thoughts on this film. Regarding its obviously being in fully Irish, I did actually pick up on a lot of things, but of course those who don't speak Irish fully, of course there are subtitles. Secondly, from a horror point of view, this film is really interesting because there is a lot of similarities to Stephen King's The Shining. If you have the sort of side-by-side comparisons, you will see a lot of this story is actually fairly inspired by The Shining. You can definitely see that. However, this film's cinematography is absolutely incredible. John Farrelly and Ross Power, who were the cinematographer as well, helped out with John as cinematographers, absolutely killed it. And I'm going to use these two shots in particular that are actually the posters running for the marketing team now. And I gotta say, the cinematography in this film is absolutely incredible. I'm just gonna say that straight up. The cinematography in this film is something that's really interesting, and honestly that captures a lot of the horrific elements that are present in this story. And the story as well is absolutely horrifying. When you see what eventually comes to fruition at the end of this film, it is disturbing, I gotta admit. This film definitely gave me vibes of The Lighthouse from Robert Eggers, in that sort of tone where it's very much sort of like, yes, there's jump scares and somewhat cliches at the first half. However, when it comes to the second half of this film, it is pure psychological horror, and it really does play on the heartstrings of like in your own brain and wondering what's actually going on in this film. And I gotta say, it does it excellently. I think this film absolutely kills it with the sense of the unknown until it's eventually revealed what actually happens. Now, I did pick up on a few things during the film. I mean, when it comes to this puppet that is shown in this film, I do think that it's really interesting when you see some lines of dialogue as well around that puppet. But I gotta say, overall this film is absolutely incredible, and the cast and crew are honestly just really nice and kind people. I got to meet John Farrelly, the director. I got to meet Anthony Murphy, who is also stars in the film. I got to chat to Tom Kerrisk, who's the main actor as the dad in the film. Amazing people, and super talented. I gotta admit, everyone who worked on this film, everyone in that credits, have absolutely killed it with this film. I know it's going worldwide at different film festivals, for example in LA and London, and of course it's going nationwide here in Ireland. And I gotta say, for an Irish language horror film, this is absolutely incredible. I think the timepiece as well is something I really do like, because as someone who loves Robert Eggers' films with the whole timepieces where it's like the late 1800s, and as someone who loves that type of horror movie and just movies in general, this film being set in the 1800s, the period piece type vibes of it, the whole way of there is no electricity, there's no communication other than actually traveling to place to communicate with people, really gives this sense of isolation throughout the film. And I gotta say, it's absolutely incredible. And there's some multiple shots in this film that really do capture that sense of isolation. This oversized mansion in the middle of nowhere, by the way, literally, as you can see in multiple images here, it's in the middle of nowhere. And I gotta say, the whole period piece of that really does work. And again, with the whole sense of isolation, it absolutely kills it with that sort of vibe. And I gotta say, It really does give that sort of sense of real vulnerability when it comes to the main actress in this film, who is tasked of a lot of things of being haunted by this ghost, and also along with the dad, who is Eamon in the film, is tasked with this sense of isolation. And I gotta say, I absolutely love the performance of Tom Kerrisk in this film. I stated in my question that you've seen previously that I think he carries this film absolutely excellently. I think Tom Kerrisk really does carry this film, because obviously what's written on the page of paper when it comes to the script, it can be really good, and John Farrelly killed it with the script of this film. But this performance by Tom Kerrisk, who has stated in that Q&A that he is not a professional actor, I gotta say the performance he gives really does give me vibes of Jack Nicholson in The Shining. That was the main kind of comparison I gave there, and I gotta say it's really clever. I mean, it's literally a mix between Jack Nicholson in The Shining and obviously William Dafoe in The Lighthouse. I think those two characters combined is the sort of vibe you get with Tom Kerrisk's performance here. And I gotta say, even if you don't speak the Irish language, give this film a shot. I promise you, you will be scared by this film. As someone who is surrounded by horror consistently, watching horror movies on a daily basis, as you can see here, Stephen King books, reading every sort of horror media and watching it as much as I possibly can, there was scenes in here that genuinely scared me, and that should be their biggest way of motivation to go and see this film. Because if you haven't gone and seen Taibhse, go watch it, because it is absolutely incredible. Because Taibhse is unbelievable, cinematography is on point, the movie's on point, the story's on point, and overall it's just a stellar film. In my opinion, it's a masterpiece in horror. I know I say that masterpiece word a lot, I know I throw that around a lot, however this film particularly is absolutely incredible, and if you aren't gonna go watch it, trust me, give it a chance. I know it's in a different language. I honestly love watching different language films. I don't know if I'm the only one like that, but I genuinely really do believe if you give this film a chance, it will not let you down. Thank you so much for watching. If you did enjoy, make sure to smash the like button down below. If you have seen Taibhse, let me know in the comments below what you thought of it. I don't know how many people have actually seen it, and if you aren't Irish and you're kind of wondering what film this is about, go watch the trailer and go watch the film. It is absolutely incredible. I don't know how much of a cinematic release or theatrical release this film is going on, but definitely if you have the chance to go see this in theaters, go and watch it. This is an indie production. There's like 10 people working on the whole film, and honestly that's just incredible to me. Go watch it. If you haven't already, just trust me on this. Go watch Taibhse. You'll love it. It's horrific. It's really malicious as well. It's disturbing. It's amazing. Thank you so much for watching. If you did enjoy, make sure to like down below. Make sure to smash that subscribe button if you like anything to do with horror and horror movies. I also, if you do want to go check out some other horror films, I do have some short films posted on my channel. Do go check them out. I really appreciate it. Thank you so much for watching. I'll check you in the next one. And of course, stay safe and peace.